And time for our talk of the town today here on AM 1390 KRFO. And Sheriff Lon Thiele of Steele County joins us because, well, there's something starting up today. I'm sure you are well aware of it. But Sheriff, you and your folks and all over Minnesota, law enforcement, you're going to have your eyes peeled, watching as carefully for what?
We are looking for distracted drivers today, or this week, really. Just making sure that we keep everyone out there safe.
And I guess distracted driving could be a number of things, but what are some of the things you're looking for specifically?
Our biggest concern would be the ones that try to text and drive at the same time. That's just too dangerous.
Basically, in Minnesota, it is a law, no texting, period, right?
Correct, correct.
Are there any exceptions, though, for someone like who would be, I don't know, an ambulance driver or a truck driver, or is that they can't do it either?
There are rules that prohibit drivers from texting and driving, but there's rules for allowing law enforcement and emergency services to see where they're getting to. I mean, you're thinking about the MapQuest and things like that. That's legal, but if you're texting and driving at the same time, that's not.
Could you pull me over if you just saw me texting, or would I have to have a tail light out before you could pull me over?
No, if I saw that that was an important, severe enough issue, yes, I would.
And I know the answer to this, but I'll ask it. Oh, when I'm sitting at a stop sign, I'm stopped.
You're stopped, but you're also in the lane of traffic, which could be impeding traffic.
Okay. See, I'm bringing all these possible scenarios that do come up with stuff like that. Is it? Do you feel it's quite a problem in Steele County, folks texting and driving? Or?
Unfortunately, I do see a lot of people out there that are doing this, and unfortunately, a lot of times it's happening when I'm off duty. Well, I really am not off duty, but when I'm out with my family. So it's just a matter of just kind of, hey, put the phone down and get somewhere safe, and then pick up the phone.
How about cell phone usage? I guess I'm sure you advise not to talk while you're driving, but I guess that is still maybe legal in Minnesota, right?
Yes, you could still talk on it. It's just a matter of I explore options like maybe the hands-free area, and you can drive and talk at the same time.
And you or someone pointed out the fact that if you cross the state line, that Iowa, South Dakota, their laws maybe aren't necessarily the same as ours.
You're absolutely right. There is something that would once you cross the state line, depending on where you're going, you should be aware of which laws are where.
Any guess, like if you pull me over and I'm texting and driving, what the fine is, how much it is, or?
That unfortunately I don't have the number for. Let's just say it's a petty misdemeanor, so it's probably going to be about $100. But still, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. I know if you are in an accident and say, oh, you've been drinking or something, or speeding, then I think it can be a little tougher fine. Is that the case too? If I would be in an accident and I was texting while driving, you could come down a little harder on me, or?
Well, hopefully that never happens, but yes, that is indeed possible. And what happens there is we can subpoena records, subpoena the phone, if you will, and we can get down to see when that last text was sent, if it was involved in an accident severe enough.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to say, like, well, I wasn't texting. I was just holding my phone up. Okay. Yeah, there you go. You can check the phone records. I should have known that. Are there some other things? I know texting and driving is what you're really cracking down on, but there's some other things as far as distracted driving that you as sheriff, you kind of go like, oh, I wish they wouldn't do that.
Well, you see a lot of them that take the phone and then they'll drive with their elbows holding it, or they'll drive with the down to the. You're not paying attention well enough. I mean, just set the phone down. But in regards to working on items or reading papers or doing whatever, I've seen people reading newspapers as they've been driving, and that is just unbelievably unsafe.
Oh yeah, yeah, obviously so. I think you'd think more people would know that. You have any like statistics as far as like how many accidents or fatals that are caused by texting and driving? Or?
Yes, in fact, in the last 5 years, there were 219 fatalities, and there's about 852 serious injuries. And unfortunately, the 219 fatalities is 219 too many.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that happened from crashes that involve the distracted driving. And once again, it's something that it should never happen. You should just put the phone down. And I mean, some people use the MapQuest on the phone and use the audible part of it instead of looking down at it. And that way, you don't have to keep looking and taking your eyes off the road. Keep something that would be utilized as a safety device, such as anything audible.
well, heaven, I don't know what it would be, but let's just say that I just have to send a text out. It's an emergency. Then can you just pull the side of the road, or I have to pull to a driveway, or what can I do?
Yeah, awesome point there. Just please pull over at the nearest safety area. And if you're on the interstate, you might have to pull off the next ramp. If you're on a highway or county road, pull off the next road possible or driveway. But please pull over and do it that way. It takes a matter of a few minutes just to pull over and get started again.
And actually, on a positive, at least for me, I do see that a lot more in the last few years, where I do see cars pulled over off the road and they're talking on the cell phone. So, the message is maybe starting to penetrate a few more folks, or what?
Yeah, I think you're right, and that's good as long as they're pulling over far enough and pulling over to the right. I'd hate to have them pull over in the what we call the hammer lane and cause a problem with people trying to swerve to move to the other direction. So if you do pull over, please pull over to the right side and or wherever it's necessarily safe.
Okay. Put your flashers on maybe too, or not necessary? Or...
If you're in a crowded area, yeah, I would. And that works both ways. If you're in a really isolated area to where there's not much traffic, maybe somebody won't see you, and put the flashers on so they do see you.
It's a good point, because a lot of the folk, I know I live in a country road, and sometimes you just figure there's nobody on this road, and you kind of let your guard down when you're on one of those dirt roads where there aren't any cars on here, and all of a sudden, oh boy, you get sloppy.
Yes, you get a little lax, and that's where it always is good to pay attention at all times.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's me. I see the ones that I always hear about as far as fatalities that stick out. It seems like young kids, high school kids, are they a little more prone to text than, say, people in our age bracket, or not? Or
statistically speaking, here I believe they are, and it's something that a lot of the fatalities have happened with the younger generation, but everybody does it, of ages wise, I should say. Not everybody does it driving, but there's a lot of different ages that do this.
And obviously, like you said, it is legal to talk on the cell phone, though I'm sure you would rather we didn't. But how about the kids that are getting their probation license, or they're just barely got their license? They got some special rules as far as using the cell phone. Is it a no-no, or?
Yeah, let's just make it no-no. I mean, it's something that I help out with the driver's ed class every once in a while up in Medford, and we talk about this and making sure that kids stay safe. You're just getting your license. You cannot operate a vehicle as well as you think you can, and that's why we use a lot of the distracted driving techniques, such as the computerized simulators, where we have them driving and we have a cell phone pop up on the screen. Now I'd like you to try and answer it. And they try and answer it, and they swerve all over the place, or they miss a stop sign, or they run over a cat. Of course, it's on the computer, so nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
But it's something that it demonstrates how quickly something could happen by taking your eyes off the road.
And I think that's something that people just don't quite grasp until you actually, maybe once in a while, I'm sure everybody at one time or another has kind of looked away for a couple seconds, like, oops, oh, that was quick. It really surprises you how far you travel in just a short span of time.
Yes, and in fact, we were just talking earlier with John, and how he was saying the football field, the length of the football field, and I know Federated Insurance has really been pushing the driving safety, which is fabulous, and I believe one of the ideas came if you took your eye off the road for that brief second, how fast are you going? Well, the length of a football field is 100 yards, and that's a large distance in a short area.
Oh, okay, we were talking about cars and texting. What if I'm on my bicycle? I bet there's people that ride bike and text. Is that a no-no, or can you do that? Or?
Well, bicycles have to pay attention to the laws too. They can't run stop signs. They can't pull out in front of traffic like a lot of them do. Yeah, pay attention. You pull over. I'd hate to have a bicyclist. You're going to hurt yourself more wiping out into a curb or something or into a car rather than you would something else. So let's try and make sure bicyclists are also staying safe.
Yeah, I just thought I'd bring it up. I'm sure you've heard every excuse in the book. Well, I'm on a bike, officer. That's not against the law, but still.
Well, as long as you're on the road, let's pay attention to all traffic laws.
Good idea. Some other things you'd like to point out as far as distracted driving, that you'd like to talk about from as sheriff of Steele County?
Sure. We are doing the distracted driving enforcement campaign, and that is taking effect April 10th through the 23rd. And we're working on the distracted driving enforcement. So all I can ask is just anyone listening, please drive safe. Put the phone down while you're driving, or look at the hands-free options, and be as safe as you can.
You said through the 23rd, but You catch me on the 24th, you're still going to get me, aren't you?
Yeah, somebody's going to be out there. We have extra enforcement. That's how I should have said it. It's something that we have extra people out there for this, and we're out there all the time. It's just a matter we'll have extra enforcement through this time frame.
Okay. So again, it's today it starts, runs to the 23rd. So be careful, don't text and drive because they're going to be looking for you. Not just Steele County, it's all over the state of Minnesota. That's our talk of the town for today here on AM 1390.